We are presently 24 chapters into Urek Mazino's Ascent, the climb of Urek Mazino, the spin-off, the side story with the one of the most powerful characters and hype characters in the Tower of God series. I have heard a lot of polarizing mixed opinions on him. Some people aren't fans, and I get that. I am a fan of Mazino, which is probably why it's having a stronger effect on me. The fact that I don't think it's been living up to how it started. I think that the Urek Mazino first like 8 chapters were pretty brilliant. Then maybe kind of good, middling, then just kind of consistently like went down. And I think one of the things that I've said this ad nauseum, so I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself all the time, but the thing that shocked me the most was the fact that we're taking so much time and we're not really progressing at a fast pace. The pacing is confusing to me. I thought this would be a lot more montagey, but they are technically still not even E rank regulars. They have not passed the test to become regulars to even climb the tower yet. And we just haven't done as much as I thought we were going to do. It was my opinion that we would kind of montage certain things, and then where we would slow down more are the all the floors that we know Mazino has been to, visited, or the ones that we've seen later on. Floor 20, Flower of Zagania, where Bam or JVG Juvial Grace meets him inside the belly of the beast, where he says, "You need at least 1,000 rankers so I don't feel embarrassed when I beat your ass." Floor 43, the Floor of Death, where he met Hell Joe and gave Hell Joe the red Thressa, had to come back to remove that from him because he went mad with power. Then Floor 77, if you will, the creation of Wolhike Sung, the meeting of Bayek Ryun, the shrinking of the forest, yada yada yada, the 8-winged tree. Then, if I remember correctly, Floor 100 is where he fought Ari Han, and they stopped the test, and Ari Han said he would have lost if it continued. We got a lot of cool shit. The primordial darkness, the disruptive light that caused time, movement, and light, the luminous ones, the Mago, the dark queen of the tower, the denizens of darkness for Phantom Minim, Mazino learning Shinsu. Like, there was a lot of promise here, and I just feel like we're not doing anything with it. And in my opinion, if you're gonna do this with a character that I like, I'd rather just do this with the main story. Because I don't think I've complained about Tower of God in a long time like this. But I'm mad. I'm not having fun. I'm not having a good time. This is boring. This is fucking boring. And I'm tired of this nigga's inconsistency. Good, 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 great, great, bad, mid, kind of okay, down, down, down. One random, really great chapter. Oh, I like this one pocket in this chapter, but the rest was whatever. It's exhausting, bro. It's so exhausting. And it's just like, imagine this was like Shanks in One Piece, or Kenpachi in Bleach, or like, I don't know, Hashirama or something in like Naruto, or like, I don't know, like, I'm trying to think of like the hype character, Escanor and Nanatsu no Taizai. And their side story was mid. And they're like the hype character people care about. That would not fly. This is not it. What are you guys saying though? My bad. But yeah, SIU Cycle, great chapters, mid, bad, great, good, yeah. I'm still of the mind that TOG would benefit narratively with bi-weekly or fewer releases. With how long they tend to be sometimes, maybe. I wonder what changed between SIU and Season 2 and now. Was TOG always like that, but we never noticed? I didn't read Season 2 weekly. No. I didn't start to. The first time Tower of God really scared me, where I saw the first fractures in the story and narrative, if you will, was the hidden floor. No, the last station, the end of Season 2. There's a lot happening. You can go back like 6 years to see my commentary there. I'm like, there's some issues here. I don't dislike the arc, but I would say this is the weakest part of Season 2. But Season 2 is phenomenal. Season 1 is incredible. Season 3 is really where you started to see the more negativity coming out of me, and more critique and criticisms on a consistent basis. So for me, I don't think it was a Season 2 thing. I'm not saying Season 2 was perfect and flawless, but I think it started to really happen towards maybe the end of the second season, if you will. This chapter gives me hope that SAU finally realized he was dragging and started to pick up the pace. The biggest shock for me wasn't the Urek Aura farm, but the fact that he skipped Urek versus Shinue. I expected that we are gonna waste an entire chapter on Urek versus the stupid ass fish. That chapter did more for the plot than the previous four combined. I agree, Han. SIU's always better after a break. I don't think he's capable of staying at his best during an extended period of time. So you're saying that he can't maintain this level of okay, that makes sense. I think SIU almost should write a pre-novel to get the narrative details ironed out. I can't wait to see when Bonehead reaches those chapters after 5 months and trying to defend them. I am more excited about that than the story. I'm more curious to see Haku's reaction. I feel like his reaction will be a lot more tempered. He's a lot more tempered. The only thing I've really seen him really poop on is like Wano. Like he gave Wano no breaks in One Piece, but even when he's criticizing, he's not as harsh in my like. I feel like out of all the Tower of God creators, I'm the harshest in my delivery when I don't like something. I'm like, this is putrid ass, and people be like, well, I didn't really like this. I thought this could be better. I wouldn't have done it this way where I'm like garbage. So like I feel like my delivery is the harshest. I'm just tired of the mid, bro. I'm not even angry. I really didn't expect to be bored during a full-fledged irregular's backstory, especially with how we started. I think this is the first time I'm a little bit angry because I'm taking time out my day to do this. I think that's the difference. If I was just reading this weekly, I probably would have stopped already. But I think because like I'm taking time out of my day to edit this, create videos, and I'm like, this is what you're giving me. That's what frustrates me more than anything. Like when I read Kubera, I'm like, what a respectful use of my time, Kurigam. Having what just happened in the last chapter come full circle in the term and like some of the most satisfying examples of long-term payoff. Having a great time. Then I gotta come to this, and I'm like, oh brother, this guy stinks. Like, I'm tired, bro. I'm tired, family. I'm burnt. I came back from Otakon with so much energy and reinvigoration, and he's already taking the wind out my sails. I'm already tired. I'm already exhausted. I think 15 years has caused SIU to burn out quicker. I think a change in production would do wonders. I do think there could be behind the scene things, and, excuse me, and personal things playing a factor here. I don't want to remove that from the equation. So I don't know what's going on there. But I actually would say this. I don't think I would be capable of writing or drawing the same story for 15 to 20 years. The way Oda's doing it with One Piece or like other super long running series like Ippo, Detective Conan, if you will. I think Naruto's about 15 years. Like, I would be more like Urasawa, your Billy Bat, Monster, 20th Century Boys. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd have shorter, more complete series because, like, I want to move on. Or I think I would take maybe an Araki route. Yes, Araki has been writing and drawing JoJo's Bizarre Adventure for some 30 plus years. But because each part changes, and he can change the setting, the tone, the personal ambience, the characters, and then he did have a shift in power system from part 1 and 2, kind of hybrid in 3, then 4, 5, 6, different, introducing the spin in 7 and whatnot. Like, I think that keeps him reinvigorated because he can kind of, even though it's the same series, he can switch it up. I almost feel like if you were making, I know Final Fantasy isn't like interconnected fully, but it's like I can make a different game. I don't have to do Cloud again. I can do Squall and Ultimisia. You know what I mean? Like I can switch it up, and I think that keeps things fresh. I wonder if he was maybe a little bored or burnt out with Tower of God. Like maybe by now he thought he'd be on the second or third story in the Tales user story universe. That's a possibility. That's a thing. A lot of comic book writers, like Rick Remender, he never focuses solely on one of his like graphic novels. He'll like focus on like Deadly Class for like half the year, then he would move on, maybe write up one or two Marvel something, then write like another one of his books, and then come back to Deadly Class. Like I feel like in that way you could, even though you're bouncing through stories, you stay invigorated because you're not consistently beating your head against the wall with the one same narrative for a decade plus. So I don't know. I wonder if he's just like, oh my god, I'm still writing this story. I thought I'd be done by now. I wonder if that's what's going on. I hate that I'm getting to the point that I think TOG is meant to be binge rather than week to week. LOL. I don't hate Bonehead, but sometimes I find it funny when he sees the most basic ish and overreacts like crazy and wastes time. You should see his reaction when he saw that dog wave controller rancor. He has a more positive, upbeat personality, and I find that his audience is a much more just happy-go-lucky, upbeat thing. So I think he has to do what he has to do to just. I'm not saying that's not his general reaction. I don't know. I haven't seen a Bonehead reaction in a while. I did want to watch the first chapter reaction to Urek Mazino, but I actually ended up falling asleep that day. But I don't know. Some people don't like me. They think I'm overly negative, right? So it's just one of those things where like you just gotta find your audience, you find your niche. And I think the thing that I've done that's kept me like I guess kind of grounded is I don't have a gimmick. I don't have a personality type or whatever. I just tell you what I think and feel. And maybe for 3 years you like that, and on year 4 you're like, I can't stand this dude. I'm out of here. Maybe for 2 years you don't like it, but you're like, I understand him now. Like for me, it's just like I just tell you what I think and feel. I could be high, I could be low, I can be somewhere even keeled in the middle. I just give it to you the way I see it, and I don't have like a thing. So, cause I the way that you feel, I guess about that is how I feel about a lot of One Piece content creators, and they oh my god. Like, bro, sit down and read. Like, stop being so fucking extra. Like, I find a lot of the live reactions that I see nowadays to be extremely performative. I don't actually believe that's a genuine reaction from a lot of them. But anyways, yeah. Authors that can work on a story for decades are built different. For real, they are. Look at Togashi. Togashi does not want to finish Hunter x Hunter. He's like, oh my god, what have I done? Yo, give it the Yu Hakusho treatment, please. Just end it. Just skip to the end. Yo, I would laugh so hard. Togashi fans in the mud, I want to defeat them. I think the Nest confirmed to me that TOG is better on a binge because my opinion on it changed compared to when I read it weekly. I haven't binged the Sprout yet. I think the 2 hiatuses during season 3 probably took a lot out of SLU sales. Nearly 2 years to delay to the start. That's a good point. He's had to take breaks because of his health, so that his health is also elongating the process of this, similar to Oda having to take a week every 2 to 3 weeks because he's overworked himself so much. It's actually a good point. I remember when you and Bonehead went back and forth during the Nest debating it. I thought it was healthy for overall for the community. It was. And I keep saying I want to do more things to integrate the community, but it's just gotten so hard because like they're on what, chapter 6 of this? I'm on chapter 24. I'm so many weeks ahead. It just becomes hard to talk. Do you think we will see Urek struggle during the spinoff? I hope the admin thrashes him. No, I don't think it's gonna happen yet. If maybe some Phantom Minim Force or something, maybe, but I don't see it right now. There's not a character that's been introduced yet that I can foresee giving him trouble. Oh, unless you mean the literal administrator, that could be interesting. The jury's out on that one. Let me think about that. He released page numbers again. Ooh, Bumgashi. Mid-X mid. I think the only one that could give him trouble will be the admin, in my opinion. Yeah, I want to see Bonehead do the trivia competition again. We are actually planning that. So stay tuned. We are planning that. And again, when this stops and they catch up, I'll do another discussion. But we do that. I want to end the year doing a bunch more collabs. a bunch more stream collabs. Is just I won't lie. I actually, like, you guys know me. If you've been here for a while, I'm a consistent uploader. Like, no matter what, you've always gotten like 4 videos a week. I just been really outside this summer. I don't want to be in that room editing, in my hard ass room editing. So I know that I haven't been uploading as much videos as usual. But part of that too is I don't see the interest. I think the Mazino stuff started really strong and people were hype, and then they're like, oh, whatever. And it's like, I don't want to kill myself for 100 views, really. So I put out what I feel is right at the right time. But I am going to stockpile a few videos soon. Get the Patreon more popping again, and everything is just waiting for like the cooler fall weather, because I have thoroughly enjoyed my summer outside. But yeah, Webtoon has Bonehead by the balls. I have no idea if that's true. Collab tier list. Okay, nothing wrong with touching grass. I appreciate the content. I'm doing my best. But even I'm like, I don't know that it's sad to say, because it's like, I like Mazino so much. You guys know he's my favorite irregular. So like, even for me to be like, I don't know about this. Like, I'm starting to think he might be a character that I like to see in spurts more than super frequently. Like, I want him to have that kind of Shanks aura. Like, when Shanks comes and he, like, does something cool, or, like, looks at something and it's, like, a big deal, but you don't really see him that often. He might be one of those characters that are better suited using a little more sparingly. But, yeah. By the way, I started Monogatari again. I just finished Hana Monogatari. Yo, isn't Kanbaru a great narrator? Because that's told from her point of view. I did not think she would be that good of a narrator. I was genuinely surprised. Like, getting the story from her POV was really good, really interesting. It was super good. Hana Monogatari is one of my favorite ones. That was a good one. Ayomine, come outside. You don't want to hoop against Kanbaru. I'm calling out the generation of miracles. Kanbaru was nicer than y'all. She gonna dunk on you with the monkey hand, with the rainy devil. She got the Valhalla Kombi speed, but she's slower than Kaiki. You see Kaiki hit it with the blitz? You trying to run? Niku. You need to eat meat. Niku. Yo. Oh, that shit is so goated. Shout out to Nisio Ishin. I finished Bake 2 Mono Season 2 in a week. Yes. Because that pocket is really good. It's a really good pocket. Spinoff should have been either a slice of life or a montage of Urek feats. Yeah. Or I would have taken like a sweet and sour or something. I could that being at a slower pace would have made more sense to me. Do you think Urek used his light powers on the floor of death? A lot of people think he did, because Helljo removed the Shinsu and he still shot a ball of light. But I think the truest and most honest answer, and sometimes I think it's okay to say this. Cause, like, I'll give you an example before I get into this bag. Dragon Ball. Oh, if Beerus was here the whole time, why didn't X, Y, and Z? The truth of the matter is, the concept of a god of destruction, Beerus and Angels and Whis, did not exist when he was writing Dragon Ball to the end of, writing Dragon Ball. When he came back with Super, he added that concept and tried to make it fit and intermingle with what was already there, right? So I say that to say this. The truth of the matter is, the Luminous One, Shining One concept did not exist until this flashback started. So Urek probably just used regular Shinsu, but with context, we can recontextualize that scene in our head and say, oh, the reason he was able to do it, even though Helljo, as the administrator, said no Shinsu, is because he used Luminous One powers. That's just the actual truth. It wasn't a concept before. So my answer is like literally no, but in Retcon retrospect, yes. Kanbaru shocked me. I really like it more so than some of the Kizu movies. I love Kizu Monogatari because for a long time, Kiss Shot Ace Lord Iron Hato Ando Bureido was my favorite character, but I became cultured to know that Kaiki's the best character in the series, followed by Perfect Crab Itagi. But I like the Kizu movies because of how they look and everything, but I'm with you. Hana Monogatari was more entertaining and better, in my opinion. Her reaction to Kaiki was funny, and he picked her up. I'll tell you more of my thoughts on Monogatari on the Patreon. Hell yeah, I'm there. I don't think SLU had shining ones on the floor of death. Exactly. That's just the truth. If Bam is darkness, SLU has an excuse to as to how Bam scratched Urek in season 2. He didn't plan for it, but he can use that now. Yes, that's kind of like what I mean. Like you could just kind of like, oh, yeah, I don't know. When Urek was grabbing Rahab and Timu Caliban, it looked like that moment where Kakashi stopped Naruto and Sasuke at the water tower. Yeah. Did Chidori to the Rasengan? Yeah, I see it. I see it. Normally, I would agree, but Dragon Ball lore doesn't compare to TOG lore. TOG lore is way more through and through. Yeah, but you're missing the point. I'm not making the point that one has worse or better lore. What I'm saying is a concept was introduced after the fact in a different series that's connected to the main series that recontextualizes a concept. It's not about what's better or worse. Dragon Ball Super came out like 20 years after Dragon Ball had concluded, and he added Gods of Destruction and Angels. That changes the way that people would read the story now. Tower of God had 3 seasons, ended, and then we had an Urek Mazino spinoff that added the luminous ones. That didn't exist before. That changes and recontextualizes stuff in the main series. That's the only point I'm making. It's not a comparison of what has better to worse lore, and that doesn't change the fact that it's a good example just because you think Dragon Ball is inferior lore-wise to Tower of God. And I know a lot of people who would argue against that. I'm not necessarily saying I would, but there's a lot of Dragon Ball lore if you're really deep into the games and the time travelers, whatever they're called, and the different timelines in the movies. Dragon Ball has a bunch of different universes and pocket dimensions amongst other things. It's not a loreless series. I'm not calling it good or bad. I'm just saying. Don't dismiss it. Don't dismiss the example just because you think the series is inferior. The most I can see is that SLU is thinking I'll make Urek do stuff on the floor of death and then figure it out later. That's something else. Urek can seemingly fly without using Shinsu, but on the floor of death, he needed Bam to create Shinsu bubbles because he wasn't able to fly. It's a plot hole. I didn't even think about that. Wow. Interesting. Yeah, that didn't even pop in my head or my brain, but oh my goodness, I was supposed to call my girlfriend to wake her up. That's crazy. But yeah, man. You guys tell me how you're feeling currently about it. Like, how are you guys feeling currently? Like, are you high on the series, low on it, indifferent? Are you just kind of waiting for something to happen? Like, how y'all feeling? Yeah, it was for the bit. Urek be getting scratched by weaker people a lot in this chapter. Maybe SCU setting up the habit. I think this one he took the hit on purpose to see if the power of the gem was maybe related to the darkness. But yeah, that was the first thing I thought when we saw Urek fly. Currently, I feel like we're in the classic SLU low point and things will turn around. I don't want. Yes, he has a habit of turning things around, and I'm with you. After a break, he usually starts off really strong and things like that. Because even thinking with the first like 8 to 10 chapters of this. But I also want to be fully transparent. I personally have a emotional connection, if you will, to Mazino. Like, I like the character a lot. So when things don't like maybe pan out positively, I feel a double hit. It's like the character who's an admiral, who was one of my favorite characters in One Piece, the performance they had at Egghead. That hurt me double as hard because that's my man's. Like, if it's about one of my favorite, I don't care that my favorite character can be like losing or in a bad situation or whatever the case may be. But like, I'm not removing the subjective emotional part to it. Like, I like Mazino and I want people to be enjoying Mazino stuff because I already feel like I defend them a lot in the main series. Because people are like, oh, here comes strong One Punch Man to to completely ruin the tension. And I'm like, no, he's so much more than that. And this is not helping his image, you know? So I want to be transparent there. Yeah, I'm with you, Chief, though. I'm with you. But yeah, I hope things turn around sooner rather than later. That would be dope. That would be awesome. That would be great. If SIU, I heard that this is the second time he's dropped two chapters like that. I think people are really getting a little antsy. Like, can we just kind of have something happen? So we're moving forward in that sense. So hopefully with here we kind of pick up, man. Because like the last time SLU to me was in great form was pretty much since he came back from his last hiatus till the end of Tower of God Season 3. A couple of low points here. Dumas versus Bam did not move me in the absolute motherfucking slightest. But man, with the conversation of Zahard and Trauma Ray leading into some of the chess stuff to the Vanish, Dumas pulling up and like the chess match happening, Gustan coming, the confrontation with the both of them, Mazino coming through, the red light district, even some of the stuff that was happening with some of the family stuff on the side, and Dorsey, Rachel being there made me hype. I thought Rachel was going to do something. Like, there was a lot to like. He was in great form. He's not incapable of putting out consistent greatness. It's in there. How do we pull it out, display it, and keep it shiny? Keep it luminous. How do we keep him in masterclass form? That is the question. How do we keep him in tip-top condition? Because at his best, SIU is one of the best. But at his worst, we'll end the sentence there. I don't think the issue is Urek. I think it's the side character dragging the pacing. But Urek will take the brunt of that because this is his side story. Oh, you're not even the MC in your own fucking spinoff? Ooh, this is why I don't even like Mazino. He's just so effing strong and he just beats up everybody. Like, he's gonna take it's like being the captain, the best player on a basketball team or a football soccer team. When you win the game, the best player gets a lot of compliments and credit. When they lose, as the captain, leader, best player, you take a lot of the criticism. That's just how it is. Makes me curious on how many chapters SCU has stockpiled. Yeah, same. I would have liked the chess game if more participants served the roles of their pieces in the game between Trummer and Gustang. I had actually suggested that was the case, similar to what happened to Harry Potter, where they actually had to be the pieces and move accordingly. But that wasn't what happened. But that's all I got to say for the time being. If you guys have any other questions, comments, concerns, predictions, prognostications, now's the time to get it out. But I'm gonna wrap it up here. I understand that a Urek will take the hit, but I'm saying character-wise, he's been good. Okay, yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, he's like not literally the issue himself, like the character and how he's being portrayed. I do think SIU is trying to make him look a little overly cool, and I don't think it's necessary. I think some characters are just kind of naturally cool, and just kind of like dominate a panel with their presence, and you don't have to do much to, like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, but yeah. That's what I got. Bam is still way better than Bam recently. No thoughts, head empty is the best way to digest current TOG. It just might be. I wish Bam had aura. He's got his moments. Vam has aura. Yes, sir. Shout out to Big V. To Vam. Vanny. Where are y'all? For everyone who was here, if you don't mind, drop a like when I drop this discussion part. Drop a comment, if you will. And I'm going to make this one video and throw it on the Patreon for 23-24. I don't think I'm going to separate it, but y'all be safe. For the One Piece fans, I'll come back later. We got a One Piece stream later. Y'all be safe. It would help me out a lot and do my heart a lot of good if some of you guys who are not on the Patreon would consider pledging or maybe becoming a channel member. But shout out to the Patreon gang. Shout out to the CBLs. That is the certified BAM lovers. Appreciate y'all. But for the tier 2, we got the Priests of Fire. they might be the real CBLs. That's Brilith Gang. And big shout out to the 5th Zen Gods, my tier 3 pledgers. Shout out to Agrona Vitera, Big Chief, Gray, Johnny Rogers, Katan, Lucky Roo, Muzaka, Naz Riley, Scobe, Simi, Zyler Scotty. Your support is greatly appreciated. Thank you. I'm going to have some sugared sand today. Oh yeah, that's a real meal.